What?
And welcome to another edition of Cageside Live. My name is Matthew Roth. I am joined by Sean Rueter.
That's me.
This after NXT TakeOver. We didn't do one after Payback because that was feeling it. This was an amazing show. And
Yes.
I'm assuming
I've been live blogging this. I've been dying to talk about this. I've been sitting there writing, typing stuff. I don't like to type stuff. So, you don't want to talk about TNA? You don't want to talk about Payback? You don't want to talk about anything?
yes. If anybody reads the Observer, apparently TNA is, while may not be officially dead, they are as close to dead as you can.
Samoa Joe made a really good decision.
Yeah, made a great decision.
That's the top.
Apparently, Destination America is not happy or wasn't happy with the ratings. The regular advertisers did not want to advertise on programming, and the decision was made that TNA on Destination America is canceled. So, what does that mean? There's not much. I mean, solely on the internet, it's pretty much dead. They, they don't have a TV station anymore. Unlike Spike TV, they're just willing to give almost a decade or over a decade. Destination America seems to have made that decision in like months.
They didn't like it. So that's, I guess they still got to come out and they might be able to limp along. But yeah, if this, the thing that's interesting though is, I mean, this really clears the deck for WWE. Global Force is somebody else to do it on a TV contract and even didn't work out and died so quickly. I don't know. You remember? I mean, you have to go back to when WWE had a hard time getting their contract. They didn't get the numbers they. If you're counting on TV to make your money, this is not the market for it anymore.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the thing that may be working, Jeff Jarrett, is just that TNA was just such a screwed brand. After losing, and Jeff Jarrett is trying to start a brand new brand. That's it though. That he don't have anything really else going for him. It's a win for pro wrestling, but we as fans get to enjoy Triple H presents Ring of Honor.
Yeah. I was not thinking this was going to be that great of a show coming into it. It exceeded my expectations. I didn't think it was going to suck or anything, but it delivered.
I was happy with tonight, man, and compared to after Payback, this one completely delivered. I can't really think of a single match that I was disappointed in.
No, I mean I think it told good stories, and the ones that weren't great weren't ones I was thinking was going to be great anyway. So there was something to like even about matches that I thought might have sucked.
I mean, you have zero expectations for Baron Corbin versus Rhyno. It's not like anything that he delivers is over delivering.
Right. Go ahead.
No, like to me that was the one real stinker on the show. I the tag match.
I mean, just to jump around a little bit, I mean, I thought, especially, and Baron Corbin, I thought really showed some like growth tonight. I mean, I was impressed. I mean, I was trying to live blog, so I got to watch it again, but I thought Enzo was really good. I thought he was hitting some moves. I mean, he's still a little, he's never going to, I don't know if he'll, but he was hitting some big moves. They're getting their tag team rhythm down. And Corbin works a lot better as a heel. I like seeing him like storm in and just try to wreck shit as opposed to whatever it was he was trying to do. Unbelievable. And then the closing angle, which was really, really well done, especially given what they had to work with. So,
So let's start at the top. The opens with I enjoyed the video package that they put for the actual official opening of the show, where like they show all the fans saying, that this is wrestling. This is what I've been looking for. This is what I've been looking for. Because it's really what we've been looking for as professional wrestling fans. That our the WWE's brand of professional wrestling. So that to me was a good match to open the show. After that is the triple threat match. They kind of goofily wrote out Hideo Itami by saying that he got beat up in the parking lot, and for some reason, like, thank God that was there to videotape it.
Close, I like to think that Enzo always has some guy with a cell phone following him around. So I thought that was clever. I mean, there's no point pretending that there's not a difference between kayfabe and reality, I guess. And, just saying that Itami found out he had a torn rotator cuff wasn't going to help anything. Furthers there, that Itami and I almost called him Steen. I'm a little worked up. Itami and Owens had already been teasing a feud on Twitter and everything before the news of his injury came out, and this furthers that. So when Itami comes back, he's got another. Owens got Hideo lined up for. Hopefully he gets back relatively soon, and that would be an awesome feud. And now you've got this little mystery that maybe KO took him out before the cameras got over there. It was also great to see. I mean, Owens is on he was walking by but didn't even stop to check on him. He's just he takes being evil to a whole other level.
Goofy Bray Wyatt kind of way.
No.
He's doing a lot of bully shit.
Right.
He's even like a bully, and that's awesome. I don't know, man.
Is no one seeing us? What is going on with here in the thread? Everybody's saying. I guess nobody refreshed. Well, I'm glad we talked for 5 minutes while nobody was watching. Oops.
Oh, man.
Don't worry. We talked about TNA. You didn't miss anything.
Scenario, you'll see the YouTube link.
That's true.
Afterwards.
That's true. More minutes for the Box Empire.
We get
So that was our pre-show. We liked that. Good angle. And then we went right into. So it was so this is interesting. I thought they changed up the Full Sail Live configuration. They took out the big Zoom for these entrances, and they used it right away with Tyler. He had models who came out before him with different music, and then they filmed him, and he flirted with them as he came out. And then you got the entrance that causes people to lose their shit out with still basically the same red and black idea, but he's adding stuff every time. He had a really cool hands coming out of his pants thing, and he had the Eye of Bálor on his back, and his cape had horns, and he's crazy. That dude's crazy.
Yeah, it's the little embellishments that he's adding every single time that kind of change it up enough, and that that's nice to see, because it's very, very easy to get bored of something. And every single time that he adds something new, and it's not a huge thing that he's adding, the cape with the horns on the spikes, whatever you want to call them, that's not a huge thing, but it just changes the character a little bit more, just a little bit more. And it's nice to see that, because it means that it's still creative.
Right.
I love this match.
He's still mostly entrance and then ring work. I mean, he's great in the match. I would still love to see some more character. Breeze stood up with him, and this was good stuff.
Yeah, if he could figure out the promo side of things, and the promo in WWE matters a lot more than it does in Japan. If he can figure out the promo, where he can go toe to toe with people, he's gonna make millions of dollars for the WWE, millions, tens of millions. It's gonna be incredible, because he's got everything but that. And yeah, I agree that there's certain things about a character that he needs to develop, but it's almost all there. It's almost all there.
So everybody says we're kind of unwatchable. I don't know what to do. Should we stop and restart? I don't know what to do.
I mean, I'm not getting any.
It's fine on my end too, but we've only got 10 people watching, and I think that's because everybody says it's buffering and freezing, and I don't know. I guess we can go through it and hope it.
Hope in scenario, guys, you got play.
It should be recording, right? So, all right,
it is recording, so we're fine. I was surprised that Balor won. I expected Breeze to win, but like not like a huge deal. I just expected Tyler Breeze to win. I really like this though. Again, Finn Balor continues to impress. Tyler Breeze, that guy that's kind of getting forgotten. The only thing I'm really worried about with him is that like it's not going to translate when he actually makes it onto the main roster, if he ever makes it on the main roster. He's really fandango.
Around the interwebs this week, I would rather he stay down there if that's going to happen, because I agree. I mean, I think there's definitely a way to transition him to the main roster, but I don't have any for now. So I don't win, or I thought maybe they would debut somebody else here to fill in for a Tommy who would win. I'm kind of surprised that they're going back to Balor as the number one contender again, although maybe he has to wait behind Joe now. So yeah, it's interesting. I hope they have something for Tyler to do, because he's lived off of day. That's obviously not an option for a long time. So yeah, he's great though. I mean, he held his own. I thought within the match, I thought he was going to win. They teased that pretty well when he hit the beauty shot. I thought he was going to get him, but no.
Yep. I don't know, man. I thought this was a great way to open a card. This was definitely one of my favorite matches of the night. But again, like that's usually what they do. They really open really, really strong, and then we get a really, really good show after it.
Yeah, I was kind of, I don't know, for some reason I was thinking they would start with the Divas tag just to space out the women's matches, but they did. This was, I mean, I guess when I thought this would open, so I was kind of surprised that was the order they went with. But hey, it worked. I mean, the crowd was on fire all night. They did some chant for like an entrance, but hey, they're the ones there. They can pick what's awesome. But I was also worried a few times that they were going to burn out for 2 straight hours. So it was sweet.
Yeah, it was a great segue into the next match. Bayley and Charlotte and Dana Brooks and Emma. Dude, Dana Brooks is so bad.
Yeah, this whole thing was a little sloppy for me. Time, and that's sort of her gimmick is actually to, be terrible, and I don't know if that's the gimmick. So
yeah, just took a fitness model that can't wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the idea, is that she's supposed to be the ideal of like a John Laurinaitis, like she's supposed to be like Kelly forced down our throats because they were fitness models. But again, I think she like overacts when she does her promos. She's better in the ring than she was in her first match. I guess Blue Pants was a horrible matchup for her, but yeah, it's still pretty rough. I don't know. I mean, they need more women, but I don't know. They're not calling anybody up. They just women. So maybe she's on a leash and she won't be around. I don't know.
I mean, Emma.
Yeah, to go with the character. I like it. I know a lot of people don't, but
and character tweaks have really worked for her.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool way to reset a very stale character that just wasn't going to work. Like Emma at the end of the day is kind of like Bayley. It's a really, really stupid character. Here's the thing. I like Bayley as a wrestler. Her character sucks. Like the whole
character for you. I mean, you just gotta. I mean, little that character. Well, I mean, Full Sail loves that character, so somebody loves it. But
Full Sail,
yeah, Full Sail. It's in that regard, but
I mean, like the whole bubbles dancing thing, and then like the wacky waving inflatable thing. Like, there's just certain things that won't transition well to the main roster. But I think Dark Emma is something that actually can work on. It's going to be nice to see her getting back into it with the women of NXT. I think that I'd prefer to see like Nikki Bella down and the Bayley, Charlotte, Emma, Banks, and Becky Lynch up on the WWE. I'd rather that happen.
I mean that's sort of what's been being talked about. Is last week is can it be developmental at the same time that it's a road show? So, so it would be nice. I mean, if it's gonna, they should they should rotate some of these people in and out to actually train and up their characters, like you said, get a reset. Which I think I don't know how well this works on the main stage either. It's sort of meta. I mean, I don't know if any woman is going to get enough time to explain this on the main roster. I mean, you have to at least give them some backstage segments and things to set up that she was happy, and then she felt betrayed by the fans because she didn't get over on the main roster. So she went. I mean, that's a lot that I don't know if they're ever going to get on a Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn show. So
true.
But yeah, I think they definitely should. They definitely should. True.
Yeah, pretty much every single time we do a show.
I think
right. Like when we do a show, we talk about this. I enjoyed this match. It wasn't better than the 4-way match that we got last time, and it wasn't as good as the other matches of tonight. But again, I thought this was pretty good.
Yeah, I think it told a pretty good story. I mean, Charlotte. The thing is Charlotte's ready to be called up. I don't know. She's just sort of killing time down there at this point. Some people were thinking maybe she would turn heel on Bayley in this one. That didn't happen. She got advanced in this, but it was a good showcase. It was a good, crowd into it. Because like you said, I mean, the crowd is Full Sail at least is into Bayley, so her winning rolling. So
yeah. Next we got Baron Corbin versus Rhyno, and man, I still hate Baron Corbin.
Yeah, like I said, it's working better for me now. I think this is a case where I think developmental is still not really clicking for me as a character. At least I can see some improvement. I see them trying something different with him. Maybe it won't work, but they also into this. I thought for sure Corbin was going to win, and I thought they put together a decent little match where I thought maybe they would put Rhyno over him anyway.
Right.
But I know exactly what's going to happen, so I'll give him some credit for that. But yeah, this was the piss break match on this show.
Pretty good. Rhyno's looked pretty good since he's made his NXT debut. This was a forgettable match for me. This to me was the low point of the night, but it was pretty good. It was the bottom of matches that we got to see.
Yep. So yeah, this was I going in. It was a little bit better than I feared, but it still wasn't. It's the one you'll fast forward when you rewatch this show for sure.
Yeah, 100%. In between, we get to see the Kevin Owens and John Cena interaction from Monday Night Raw, and I like this. We didn't get to talk about this on Monday, but when the veteran advised stuff, I thought was great. It was a nice little call to Monday. On Monday, I kind of freaked out when he said that. That totally makes sense because Kevin Owens is like the actual veteran here. He's been doing this for 16 years, 15 years, whatever it is. There's nobody really in the business that can give him advice what would work.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great segment. I also thought it's like really smart. It's a smart way to market NXT. We've talked about that before too, that they should be putting more ads on Raw for NXT, and this is your free month. They had this show on Wednesday night, so they set up both of the main John Cena. So if NXT is the show just for smarks or the internet, they went ahead and put both of those guys against the have and said, hey, check this other stuff out. So I kind of thought we were going to get a Cena run in tonight just to tie that all together. But yeah, again, him offering Sami veteran advice thing was so awesome. Just the way he started that interview, the whole, when what's his name, weird hair guy said, I don't want to interrupt you. And he said, well, you are. But then he got convinced that he should talk about himself anyway. So
we transition into the next match. Enzo Amore and Blake and Murphy. It's great to see that Enzo and Colin Cassidy have actually have improved, because that was their down. That was the low point about them. It was that they weren't actually good in the ring. They were great at connecting with the crowd. They promo ended, and they're both pretty competent. I'd say that Colin Cassidy is clearly the better of the two, but Enzo seems to have made huge strides, and that's great to see because, like, again, like that opening promo is going to make them a ton of money in the roster if they ever get there, and they just weren't able to actually wrestle, and now that they actually can work a match, maybe they'll get there.
Yeah, they're making strides. Like I said, I still think. I mean, Cass is still pretty rough to me. He didn't have to do a whole lot in this one. Maybe it was just the story didn't make sense. It bugged me when, for no apparent reason, he decided he wanted to go for that team finisher, even though Enzo was basically unconscious. Like I said, Enzo sold really well. He opened up with some big good, and I like the Dubstep Cowboys. They're growing on me as heels. I thought the right call as far as the decision for the match too, because it gets more heat on them. It's we now have another heel woman. It was a little overbooked, but you out of them. So I think too much money there. I don't know. I mean, the tag team division doesn't get put together much better than the women on Raw, so I worry about them a little bit, but they'll get over with anybody.
I mean, if anybody in NXT in the tag division is going to get over, it's going to be those two.
Yeah.
It's weird that appeared completely.
Yeah, that is bizarre.
Like for the call up, but I guess not.
I mean, they're as red. I mean, I don't think they were going to be stars, but I thought they could be like at least like Los Matadors useful. But I mean, Lucha Dragons made a big splash on Raw, and now they've kind of disappeared. I know they got put in this elimination. They hadn't even been on Raw for a couple weeks after they got a lot of buzz for their first two appearances. So again, I just have no faith in their they're not serious about tag wrestling. So it's gonna.
No, they're not. I mean, every often it seems like it because again we got. We'll talk about a little bit about Payback with like the New Day and the Cesaro match, but for the most part, they're not investing any time in the tag. A new tag team, cool. Let's insert them, and then that's all they're doing.
Yeah,
this is going to work as a heel.
Yeah, I think she could. I mean. She didn't do much as a face other than, dance and blow dust around and stuff. So I think if she plays up a little arrogant, they've got a pretty good story here because plus she's like the second choice for those guys. So she can have a chip on her shoulder about that. She could work. I mean, she's still really in the ring too is her problem. She's got good spots, but she doesn't know how to connect them at all. So it's just a spot. And then it's like an awkward setup to the next spot. Maybe they're thinking about transitioning her to more of a valet role who just does a couple of spots for that reason. So I think she could work like this. We'll see.
Yeah. And again, they haven't really established Carmella as being a face. Like she's kind of in like a weird like.
They've done a little bit more the last couple of weeks. I think they're on the right track finally. But we'll see.
Yeah, this I thought was a pretty good match. Maybe again like zero expectations, guys.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be even more overbooked to cover things. So like I said, I guess the reason I was a little bit higher on this one and the Corbin match is just that I thought Corbin and Enzo impressed me more than I thought they were going to. But this was probably my second least favorite match on the card. Is that right? Yeah. So
next is the women's match, and it seems like every single time we have these NXT special events, we always say afterwards the best women's match that WWE's ever done. And to me, this is kind of up there with that. It was a little sloppy at times. For the most part, this was as good as we've ever seen in NXT.
Yeah. I mean, it was, like you said, they were trying to do so much and they were going so hard that they had some little slip-ups, but that happens in any match, especially when they worked, I have to go look at the times, but I think this was the longest one on the show because, the last one was truncated because Sami was probably a lot more limited than we knew. So, they slipped up a few times, but, they recovered every time. It was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah, they continue to set the bar higher for women's wrestling in WWE. That's for sure.
And I thought this is a great match. It was just it was a little sloppy. Again, it was a little sloppy, but it was really good. I was very happy with this match. Becky is as a steampunk.
I'm in like the Corey Graves camp of Becky Lynch is a hell of a wrestler, but her character just annoys me for some reason. And dyeing her hair like in Fifth Element and coming out like a steampunk Final Fantasy character didn't help it at all. So
big thing,
weird choice.
Yeah, what bothers me about Becky Lynch though are the like the side flaps or the flapping to me.
Yeah,
I will never a wrestler. I really, really enjoy what she does. At least in my mind, like I kind of want to see what they do with her next because there's definitely some, there's definitely some growth for her. Like that they can most definitely either continue the Sasha Banks feud or just be like, hey, you know what? She's going to work with somebody else, and no matter what, it's going to be really good.
This is, I don't, like I said earlier, most of the women's division on NXT, or at least the NXT 4, is so badly that they tried to put me into one. And, a Paige versus Sasha phenomenal right now, or a Nikki versus Sasha feud. But it's to our benefit. But yeah, Becky Lynch is, I think this was definitely, they played it that way. They knew it. They set it up so that Sasha cleared out the ring so she could get her standing ovation and get played out with her music. And she did. She just looked like wiped out. Just that, this might be scripted, but, she just got her ass kicked in there and left it all laying out there. And that's how you get over with people. If you want to know how do you get over with wrestling fans, go and bust your ass for our entertainment, and we will thank you for it. It's not rocket science. She doesn't have her baby face 2 weeks ago, but she's over now because she just went and busted her ass and put on the match of the night in a 30-minute women's match.
They really did turn her face.
Yeah. They're that angle, but they rushed it. They gave it they sold it hard. They had a WWE.com today about her journey to the top and all this stuff. They just rushed it. But they can build from here. I don't know who she's going to feud with. I would watch this match again though. So
I most definitely watch this match.
I don't want Sasha to ever lose because she's awesome. She's a badass.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, what do they do with Sasha because she's ready for the call up? Do you kind of let her go ahead and join the New Day, which she said that she wants to do?
That would be pretty awesome. Sasha's not exactly the most positive person.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd work it in, and that would be amazing.
I want Sasha Banks and Tyler Breeze to become a on-screen team or something. But if only they could go to Lucha Underground and be a mixed tag team, that would be cool. So I don't think anybody's watching anyway, so we can say whatever we want.
Yeah, we can say whatever we want. Nobody's
fall asleep. I could pick my nose or say sexist stuff that Gino would want to fire me for because right now he can't even watch. He'll have to wait to fire me later. I can't. This is the one, even more than the end. I can't wait to go back and rewatch this. And just basically sort of marking out in the middle of it.
That's how it is. I'm really excited to rewatch this because I think that these two have great chemistry. There's a little, at times, but this is a really, really, really good match.
Yep, loved it.
So, final match on the card, and then we can start just think about how bad Sami Zayn. I thought this was great. They did a job at protecting Sami Zayn. But super strong, and that was surprising because there was part of me that kind of thought that I was a mark for believing the whole he has a real injury and we're writing him off TV thing.
Right.
There's points where you just go like, oh no, he's gonna win, and that they're gonna write Kevin Owens onto the main roster, but do that. He is going to face John Cena in 2 weeks or next week. But man, this was good. I did not. It wasn't as good as the women's match, though.
No, I don't think it ever was. I mean, one of the things that our last two TakeOver main events has reminded me is I can't wait to see an actual Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match, because we've gotten two of these now that were more story than match. The last one because that was where they were going with it, and this one just because Sami is fairly banged up. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't gonna up their sleeve at the end. It was a really smartly put together show, which of course it was. That's like saying every TakeOver has the best women's match we've seen. We haven't done yet. So they were ready for that. They knew. I think they probably could have put the women on last, but having Joe come out last is the right call. I was surprised at how strong Sami looked. I thought that was unexpected. I thought we were going to get another 10-minute beatdown and then a save. So to his ass until he got caught was pretty awesome. And it came again, because I was going into this match saying I wonder if the crowd won't be kind of dead after that women's match. And then, all it took was, Sami catches himself on the stairs to avoid the power bomb, and everybody's going apeshit again. It was great, very smart. But I do really want to see. I want them both at full strength to go at it again. But they're gonna wrestle forever, so it's a good problem to have.
It's like, hey, you know what? We have to wait 3 months for this. It's not a huge deal. We're still gonna see the payoff.
No, and like I said before, I mean, Kevin Owens is stacking up challengers. I mean, you got Balor's the #1 contender. Obviously, he's got something going with Joe. He's gonna fight fucking John Cena in a week and a half on pay-per-view. It's not really pay-per-view, but whatever you call their net. I mean, he's got plenty to keep him busy. He's got a Tommy waiting for him at some point down the road, apparently. So, yeah, there's plenty of time to get to this, and the payoff will be delicious.
Yeah, in the NXT. It could happen on the main roster. It doesn't matter. We're gonna get these matches that we really want to see. And it's amazing. Again, when they launched the WWE last year, the level of just what's going on there. It's incredible. You can't compare tonight's event to the first to NXT Arrival, because it's just it's night and day. And the Zayn match there was really, really good. The Paige Emma match was good, but it's not even close to the same event. They've made the correct signings. The people have developed a lot, to actual real competent wrestlers. And look back at that event where it was the first show was Bo Dallas versus Adrian Neville, I believe.
Yes.
No offense to Bo, but he's not
the great character that played well, and he was never that great in the ring. I mean, he managed to Neville got some decent matches out of him, but nothing compared to the Neville Sami match. So, I mean, Bo was, and I mean, his brother's not that great in the ring either, but his brother's a better storyteller.
Right. You look at what we got back then, and we all raved that event.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best event.
WWE main roster pay-per-views, even though it's probably the worst takeover. I'm just used to calling them all takeovers, but you get the picture.
Yeah, I mean, but that's crazy to me. Where you go, hey, you know what? These guys have, have improved so much because they've signed the correct talent, but also it's proved that the developmental system is actually improved as well, because Tyler Breeze has shown amazing improvement. Tyler Breeze, he was good. He wasn't great. He's great.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the cool things. I mean, Breeze and Banks are the two best examples, because when Sasha Banks showed up, she was a babyface who she kind of looked the way Alexa Bliss still looks. I mean, she was a couple of good spots. There was no character, and to see her become I don't know, one of the best heel women's wrestlers I've ever watched. And I know it's crazy to say that after only a few months of her essentially being at the top, but I can't think of somebody else that I've enjoyed their work as much as I do hers. So, and that's me that NXT was something that Cageside wasn't even covering. And Gino was like, I was like, I'll do some more stuff for you. And he's like, well, I guess you could cover that NXT show. And that was like 2 years ago. I mean, and now it's like everybody loves it, and it's the highest rated show on the network. It's insane.
But it really speaks to what they're doing down there. What like we say NXT is the show, but also is just like the NXT is as the developmental, and like Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks wasn't great, like she should, and she's developed into a complete wrestler. Like it just so many people like he and Enzo Amore. Those guys weren't good. Developed into we're saying the second that they have the opportunity to go onto the main roster, they're going to be making so much.
Did you see the ESPN thing?
Yes.
And it was like a whole different product back then. I mean, just to see how far some of those guys had come and how far the brand has come. I mean, I get a little, but it's one of the smartest. I mean, not only is this the best product that WWE puts out, it's probably also the smartest marketed product that they put out. I mean, right. I think I'm a little worried about tours and those sorts of things, taking away from it being able to be intelligently and rolling it out slowly enough. And they're signing, adding people to the roster like Rhyno, now Joe, that are going to help them sell out those places. It's really, really smart.
And that's the thing, like Rhino's not going to be there forever. It's kind of,
no. And I don't think Joe will either. I mean, Joe is either there for a little bit before he goes for a run, or he's there for a little bit.
Indeed, don't want to benefit. Right. And also the gets to work with them. Like I'm really hyped for Kevin Owens versus Samoa Joe. I think it's going to be a great program.
Said it on his conference call yesterday that he's not looking to compete with Ring of Honor, but it is. This is Triple H presents Ring of Honor. I mean, even Ring of Honor move. Bring in Alberto El Patron. Bring in Joe. Bring these guys in for a month and then cycle them back out, and you keep your core talent. That's the model that they're doing. I mean, they're able to do it better because they control more of the guys. They have a bigger platform. But yeah, it's really, it's exciting.
Yeah, I don't want to take credit for this because I can't remember who said it. NXT is basically all the everything you love about the indies, except with the WWE production. So everything that you love about indie wrestling is actually it's wrestling, except actual HD camera and actual production values, and it makes such a difference. Do you go to live indie shows?
Yeah, Ring of Honor does a lot of their TV tapings not far from my house, so I've seen them a number of times. I've seen some Maryland Championship Wrestling. I've been to a few Chikara shows. So yeah, I mean, not as much as I'd like to, but I check them out when I can.
They're fun, but there's no comparison when you have a huge screen that and like sound guys and things like that. This is just one of those. It really makes you appreciate what they're able to do, and we didn't even talk about it. Bringing in Samoa Joe and his entrance, we all expect it's been rumored and about Samoa Joe signing with the WWE. He was going to be making his debut soon, but that was awesome, and they actually called him Samoa.
I say is we got to talk. I mean, that's that's been the big running joke, right? Is he going to be, or whatever? But I mean, I guess they cut a deal, and I guess that proves that it's probably not a long-term deal, and that maybe he's never going to get to the main. I don't know if Vince would let him keep his name, but I don't think they would call him Samoa Joe so clearly tonight and let him wear a shirt that said Samoa Jake or something. So it's pretty cool. And this talked about at the Open, you're about to have a lot more guys that might be up for that deal.
Yeah,
Bobby Roode in NXT. They've passed on Aries a few times before they had NXT. So that, yeah. And there's some young guys there. I don't know if they're, I don't know. I mean, hope to burn their bridges, or they haven't, just decided they're not going to go with them. But, the only thing that sucks about the TNA thing is that some of those guys are going to start losing money. But
we can talk about that a little bit more. Like the whole TNA guys that missed the beginning of the show, TNA lost or canceled. And it sucks for the lower card guys. Like somebody like I don't even watch TNA, so I'm not going to pretend. But like the guys, they're going back to taking indie bookings, and that sucks because they weren't making a ton of money with TNA. And like, but it kind of is good for the WWE because you have people. It does open up, like the Dudley Boys coming back, like maybe in the same capacity as, the New Age Outlaws. Bobby Roode and Austin Aries in NXT sounds awesome to me. And who I really want to see, and somebody said it on Twitter to me, and I completely agree, is Ethan Carter.
Yep.
He WWE, and he was supposed to be Mr. America, and it was I was so hyped for that character.
Yeah,
and
that's the guy that I'm worried nothing, but if he didn't,
yeah, and again, like there's some really good women down in that were in TNA.
Yeah. Well, Gail Kim's there. I mean, that would be. Did for Samoa Joe. If she came in at the end of the night, like Sasha Banks had just beaten Becky again or something, or she just beat Bayley, and then Gail Kim came in to save her, I would freak out.
Yeah.
Gail Kim is a great fucking wrestler. She's somebody who's not that great on the mic. It was always kind of a weird character. She's who her limited are, but it's there's a few people. I mean, Taryn Terrell, who was with WWE, but she may have burned her bridge because she had that whole like domestic. She beat up Drew Galloway or whatever, but she's turned into a pretty damn good wrestler. So there's a lot of talent there that I'd love to see come over, and that's part of that it's going to be wild to see how NXT grows. And if they can get all of those people, maybe they can actually see that we're talking about.
We're not getting the tag team of Fandango and Zack Ryder. I'm sorry, but like
that's
Johnny Curtis is a very, very, very talented person. Like he's actually a legitimately talented worker. But Fandango is a stupid gimmick that he's, and we keep bringing up people that could use a refreshing down in NXT. I think Ryder at this point is dead in the water. It's amazing that he's survived.
It's terrible.
It's amazing that he survived the cuts. But like I don't know, man. Like people in NXT the call up that aren't getting called up because they're serious about creating a rival brand, or at least maybe not a complete rival because it's the same company, but like if you want storylines, you have wrestling though you have NXT, and if they're serious about creating a rival brand, then one, you got contracts worth to stay down there. But then I'm totally cool with keeping Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens and Hideo Itami, Bálor, all these guys down in NXT, and letting them tour the country, because they don't need developing. Like they're trained. Those guys are trained.
I mean, I think they're getting tools, the performance center, the video stuff, and all those things. So there's stuff there. If they want to really make it comparable pay-wise, though, they're probably going to have to put NXT on TV. They would have to a 1 hour time slot on a Friday night or something. That would be, because that's the difference, is the exposure. Get that kind of share of the gate. If they're only doing 5,000 seat shows, you're never going to get, you're not going to get WrestleMania, which pay-per-view cuts aren't what they were, but to a lot of people, they're never going to watch NXT. I don't know a lot of these people, but they like Raw the way it is. They like 3 hours of, goofy jokes and Fandango, Zack Ryder team ups, and 20-minute Triple H promos every week. So it is. I mean, it's to a lot of people that is wrestling. They don't seek out anything else. So it's
I think that the 1 hour each week needs to be expanded.
yeah. We've talked about that before too. I mean, that's the only thing that I was excited about when that rumor went around that they were going to do monthly takeovers. Is that would be like a big step up in terms of adding 1 hour, but it'd be 20% more NXT every month, which I think would be a good first step to going towards maybe a 2-hour show every week or extra half hour or something. Which, yeah, I mean, because there's, I mean, like we talked about, the vaudevillains have disappeared. I was really hyped for that Marcus Louis story where he was going to be like the Phantom of the Opera. That guy's completely disappeared. The Jason Jordan, Ty Dillinger thing. Apparently, Ty Dillinger was doing a cool new gimmick on the house shows, but we haven't seen anything of them. There's a lot of guys. We only see the tip of the iceberg on the show. There's like 80 people in developmental, and we see like 20 every week. So they've got people down there that we haven't seen, and there's just no way they're going to squeeze them all into an hour show, especially when they give a half an hour of that show every week to Kevin Owens. And they should, because he's...
Yeah, I mean, the one person that they have kind of been pushing that I'm not really stoked on is Sami Callihan. I can't think of his name right now.
Solomon Crow, yeah. They have, I mean, I think they know. I don't think they're very high on him at this point because they push him, but he comes and goes. He hasn't had a real storyline yet.
I just don't like. I just don't like. I think it's a stupid ring work, man.
Yeah, Rose has.
Right. So. It hasn't translated, and maybe it's a dumb character, but man,
they don't seem to have sort of dropped the character. It's like I don't know. Yeah, they just everything about the way they present him says to me that
about Payback because there was at least 2 matches I wanted to kind of talk about.
Sure. Yeah.
We had the tag match between New Day and the Cesaro Kid team. I love
Best
that match.
Team ever.
And New Day is finally catching on.
Yeah, it's so turn him heel this way, but it's worked out really good. I mean, because it's what everybody wanted. I mean, owning those characters, and that's good in the ring, and that's all you need. And they've got a great. I mean, this could be like a really epic all-time type rivalry if WWE lets it. Because they're. I mean, I liked Best Team Ever or whatever, Swinging Cats or Brass Ring Club, whatever you want to call them. I like them better as heels, but they're good as cocky faces too. And the ring work's phenomenal.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like those 2 teams have really good chemistry. It's really funny what happens when you get 4 guys that actually have a work rate.
Yep.
Chance to actually wrestle.
And then you've got Natalya wearing weird clothes on the outside, and Xavier Woods is just awesome as a manager. I was never that high on the guy, but again, as letting him be himself as a heel is perfect.
Yeah, that he's a heel.
Right, exactly. And he's got like whatever it was where they were chanting "This is awesome" and he was yelling back at them, "We're fully aware." I mean, that's just hilarious. That's the kind of stuff that Vince can't script.
Yeah, and in the back was just like, what's he doing?
Yeah, exactly. Or he's just not paying attention because it's tag team wrestling. He's too busy like writing Roman Reigns' promo or something.
Just doesn't care at all. I thought that was really good. The main event was awesome. The when I teased the Shield, the one dunk up was the U.S. title.
Yeah, I liked what they were trying to do, but they just. I mean,
Sean, do you quit? Sean, do you quit? Sean,
do you quit? Ask him. Oh, yeah.
Sean, what about?
Who decided that Mike Chioda should be the star of that match? That's what I want to know.
No, Sean, you didn't ask me. You didn't answer. Do you quit?
No.
Okay. Just sure. What about now? Do you quit?
Hell no.
It was and like I hate those kind of matches.
Yeah.
I hate last man standing matches. I quit matches. They're just stupid. You know,
what about Russian chain matches? How do you feel about those? I mean, that's
that was also stupid. Like,
why this every year now. It's Cena's. I did a post today about Payback and the Raw after Payback being full of awesome moments. And I noticed Cena has this feud every year because last year was Bray Wyatt, and we all know about that. It was last man standing and steel cage match that didn't matter. And the year before that is when he had the Ryback feud, and they had the 3-stage hell match where it was an ambulance match and a lumberjack match and something else all in one. Why is his WrestleMania feuds him like going over younger guys in gimmick matches? None of that. Nobody wants any of that. We don't want to see him go over. We want to see him in gimmick matches. Fucking John Cena. I hope Kevin Owens kills him.
Oh my God. Yeah, I completely
agree. I just want him to wound him.
Seem really, really high on Payback, except for like me and Gino.
I didn't hate it, but I thought Extreme Rules a lot better. I mean, Extreme Rules wasn't great, but I don't know. I would 2-match show for me. Yep. I don't even know how great the last match was. I the story that they ended up telling.
Yep. Return. That was awesome.
What are your feelings on the meta powers?
I'm hoping that it pays off somehow because
I don't think it will.
I hope it pays off somehow because both guys are too talented to be and to be kind of stuck with this stupid gimmick. Like Damien Zayn is amazing. We could talk about that forever. But Curtis Axel, whatever you want to call him, he's actually really, really good in the ring.
Yeah.
And he's getting saddled with this really stupid gimmick.
Here's the thing that pisses me off about it. I'm a Curtis Axel mark. I was Michael McGillicuddy. He was terrible on the mic, but he's a fucking technician in the ring. He's like a Tyson Kidd level guy for me in the ring. He was actually getting over with his like delusional, not actually being Hulk Hogan, just sort of when he was still in the Royal Rumble and all that stuff. So it's such a typical Vince thing. It's like when he had them come out and explain, and have Jerry Lawler tell everybody why Fandangoing was cool after WrestleMania that one year. It's like, okay, this is sort of and just totally pretend to be Hogan, and then that'll be great. No, that'll kill it, you moron.
They both deserve better.
Yeah.
If they're committed, I say they. I mean the WWE, not the two guys that are getting saddled with these really dumb gimmicks. If the WWE is committed to it, it could work really well. Like it would be really fun. Like maybe not like, hey, we're gonna be like main eventing WrestleMania, but it could be really fun in that that Chikara kind of way, where I keep watching these two doofuses, reenact the people that I grew up loving. Like, man.
Well, it's like to get them, at least let them then wrestle and show off the stuff that they can do well. Like let Axel work most of the match. Let Sandow come in for big spots, but to just have them dress up and then be clowns who get squashed by the fucking the Ascension is mind-boggling. Why he not use it to get them over? It's the worst Vince McMahon tendencies.
It really is, and again, like, look, Sandow's fun. The two in the ring is clearly Curtis Axel,
right?
And you said, like, again, like, this is a guy that is up there with Cesaro, Tyson, as far as technician in the actual ring, and he's being made a joke. His entire world wrestler are being a joke and being made a mockery, and that sucks so much because yeah, you're getting TV time and blah blah, but you're like, these guys are so much better than that, And if you honestly committed to it, where you said, hey, you know what, we're gonna see these two versus, like, I want to see them versus the Lucha Dragons. I want to see them versus Los Manos, because like those also have pretty solid wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
They can do so many. Those would be fun tag matches. Frustrating, man.
And then use it as like the fun match that gets the crowd warmed up or keeps the crowd in it without having to pop their head off in between two hot matches. There's a use for these things, but they refuse to use it. So I didn't want to get us off on a rant there at the end because
No,
it
but
was
you're right.
a good night of wrestling tonight. It's been a good week. I mean, Raw was good. I mean, it had a great moment, and it was overall pretty good.
I mean, Chamber to close out the month.
Yep.
Which that's like I said, house show. Just decided to turn into an actual pay-per-view.
We're gonna have. I think it means 3 pay-per-views in 5 weeks or something. Because Money in the Bank is like the second Sunday in July or June.
Yep.
Crazy. Just got back from Europe after doing Mania. No wonder there's injury problems. But it's good for us as fans, I guess.
No, it is great for us as fans, man. Like, this is really fun. This is super fun, and we're finally like, look, the Elimination Chamber match is brutal. It sucks, probably for the talent, but
yeah, I do too. I always surprise me. People are always like, "Bring back War Games." I'm like, I really like that. I mean, I would love to see a War Games match, but it should be good. The tag team thing is going to be crazy. I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, I guess they're doing 6 whole teams, so they're going to put 2 guys in each pod. I thought it was kind of interesting to do 3 teams with each guy's an individual pod, so you could have mismatched guys. But maybe they'll do that some other time. It should be crazy. Having 12 guys in there is nuts.
Yeah, and no, 13.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Xavier's going to find a way in.
Oh no, it's Freebird rules, man. The New Day
is he allowed to come? He's going to be. All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, man. I got to go write a recap still.
Super fun.
Yeah, catching up with you, and I guess we'll do it in 2 weeks. Sunday night I got home late and I wasn't feeling the show, but we're sticking. You got me. I'm back.
Cool. Also, you're still coming to Austin next month, right?
Yep. I will give you the pertinence as we get closer.
Sounds good. All right, brother. You have a good one.
All right, man.
Everybody.